Well, let's talk about sugar a little bit now. We got to be really careful with the word sugar, because sugar typically is gula pasir. Yeah, and I want to explain a little bit to you about gula pasir. Who knows how to make gula pasir? Tebu, yeah. And so the problem with tebu is this. Yeah, I want to explain a little bit, so when you're done writing, you can listen. Are you ready? Ready to hear this? I want to tell you a story about tebu. So to plant tebu, you need to do something in Indonesia, which is very sad for me, and it's happened all over Java, is you need to cut down the forest. Because tebu don't grow in the forest, no? And when you cut down the forest, you also cut down many rumah of the burung and of all the animals, no? And then we get like a plantation. And it's very productive, but unfortunately is not good for nature. So this model of plantation and cutting all the trees to plant one crop is, I'm sorry to say, it's a product of the colonial past with the Belanda people. But before the Belanda people came here, Indonesian people don't cut all the tree unless they plant the rice field. Yeah, it's actually a really good way of growing food for me. It's like a tegal. When I go to Tabanan, I really see that the people can grow tegal that have nangka, durian, pohon aren for the gula merah, kopi, chocolate, all together in one forest. And when you go to such a farm, the tegal, there are still many birds and butterflies and worms, so it's more better for nature. Because you don't just say, oh, I'm the only one who can do something here, tebu and spray chemical. No, the tegal is a type of farming that is before the Belanda people came, and this is a type of farming that I always support. In the New Earth Cooking School, we have our own tegal, and the basis of the Zest menu is always to use the products from the tegal, because that way we can support the farmer. That's why on the menu we use kladi, nangka, durian, all these things, chocolate obviously, because we want to support that and promote that. And so for me it's very important when we use a sweetener in a food. It's okay to use some sweetener, no, to balance the flavor, otherwise it's too sour sometimes. But we specifically use the palm syrup or the juru or the gula merah. But gula merah is not even really gula, because chemically it's different. Gula pasir, like when we say sugar, actually you can tell customer we don't really use refined sugar. We use a very special palm sweetener. Use the word sweetener, it sounds better. From Tabanan, from the food forest. And we have to explain to people when they ask, like, this is number one, much better for your health. Because I tell you that Balinese people have always been eating gula merah. But before the 70s, there was no diabetes here. And you ask why? Yeah, but when they introduced the gula pasir, it's so strong on the body. Why? You take the tebu to the factory, you squeeze the juice. Now, it's still quite healthy to drink the juice tebu. But then they put it through this chemical process and they take out all the flavor, all the nutrients, and you end up with white sugar. It's 100% pure sugar. And you put it in your body and the whole body gets stressed. But when you eat the gula merah, there are many minerals and many other good nutrients, because it's just the juice from the aren tree boiled on the wood fire, and you have this amazing fudge. Many different flavor inside there. It's really complex. But sometimes for the factory, they think, oh, it's too difficult, too many flavor, too unstable. Give me gula pasir. That's why here at Zest, I personally always avoid gula pasir in our food, but I have to protect it because sometimes they love using gula pasir. I'm like, no, yeah, because we don't want to give our guests diabetes. You know, we want to give our guests the good. Even if gula merah is more expensive now, it's important that we use this because we are proud of Bali. We love Mother Earth. You know, you see. And I really hope that you can understand this. And when you have some time, you can sometimes explain this to people. Yeah, why we use this. So inside here, I hope that Goose Day is using either gula merah, or we also use cassava syrup. Because cassava syrup is again, it's not so bad because it's cassava. You know, it's a different story than using tebu. So I want to make sure with Goose Day that for the only sweetener we use, if we want the color to be white, we use cassava syrup. If the color is flexible and the taste is flexible, we use the juru or the gula merah. Yeah. So we need to make sure that's what we use in the recipe, and we do not use the gula pasir for the reason I just explained. Okay? Yeah. You can explain this to people. Much better for you. Of course, you don't want to eat 1 kilo of gula merah a day either. You know, it's like everything in moderation and balance. Yeah. Are we ready for the main course? Okay. Let's present. We'll do the sauce on the table now. Look at this. Woo, so beautiful. Okay, so we have the tempeh from Tempeh Man. And it is glazed with like a sweet glaze to make like a little bit like barbecue taste. Goose can explain actually the rest. Yeah, please.
Wah, terima kasih ya. Ini main course-nya yang pertama, saya pakai parsley oil yang hijau itu.
Oh yeah, I think I call it a barbecue tempeh steak to make it sound nice. With like what do you make, a wasabi edamame puree? No?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's edamame beans pureed with the taste of wasabi. So it's like a Japanese taste, and then you take of radish. Yeah, you can explain more.
Itu maiznya kita pakai potato, edamame dan wasabi.
Apa lagi?
Yang kedua di sana ada zucchini, leek, miso, ginger pickle. Zucchini, leek, miso, ginger pickle. Wrap. Ya, di dalamnya itu isi miso, isi leek. Ya, leeknya kita boil. Di sana kita mix dengan pickle ginger, lalu kita toast. Biar ada rasa smoothie. Yang merah itu red radish pickle, kita pakai fresh ya. Fresh pickle-nya. Itu twillnya kita pakai parsley. Twill. Itu bahan twillnya itu kita pakai tepung terigu, oil, parsley, sama water.
So if people need gluten free, you just cancel the twill, yeah? Say sorry, but you can have the rest. Agree?
Dan itu apa? Oh, itu saus ya. Kita pakai
soy wasabi sauce.
ya itu ya. Kita pakai yang pertama itu kita pakai soy, ditambah isi wasabi. Ini sausnya isi onion, ya, caramel onion. Kita pakai tamari. Ya. Ini temanya Japanese.
Okay, suksama Gus Day. Yes. And you know the cool thing is with tempeh man, we can decide which beans we put inside. At the moment it's normal soybeans, but non-GMO. But in the future we can also use what kacang else either, like kacang lalu undis, yeah. So we're gonna see a little bit. I think it's nice to use the undis. And black salt. Okay, we will talk about it later. But for now, it's non-GMO. That's the most important part. Non-GMO. We tested in the laboratorium. Correct? So please, yes, enjoy. And if you put a little lime juice and then you put the sauce and you taste, and you try to taste the flavors together. I think it's working quite nice together. Little Japanese vibes. Yeah. Yeah. And do you want them to put the sauce at the table or the guests do it? The guests. Guests sendiri, yeah? Okay. Okay. You can turn off the camera.